Welcome everyone to Kansas City and the Midwest Regional Final, the Elite Eight. It's the third-seeded Oregon Ducks and the #1 seeded Kansas Jayhawks. The winner will face the Kentucky Wildcats or North Carolina Tar Heels in the national semifinal next week in the Final Four. And of course, they will join Gonzaga with a win. Hi everyone, good evening. Kevin Harlan, Dan Bonner in his 32nd year covering the tournament. Hall of Famer Reggie Miller. We'll check in with Dana Jacobson in just 1 second. Well guys, here we are, the final stop in the road to the Final Four.
And both these teams, devastating Elite Eight losses a year ago. The team that can stay within character continues dancing, Dan.
I actually think the formula is fairly simple. A lot of different ways to get there, but you got to make shots. You make shots, you're going to Phoenix. You don't, you're going home.
That's what Oregon coach Dana Altman talked about yesterday. He has been on a roll, a 3-time Pac-12 Coach of the Year who grew up about 200 miles from here in Wilbur, Nebraska, and he's got some firepower. With the Pac-12 Player of the Year, Dylan Brooks. For Kansas, their fantastic freshman is Josh Jackson. He, in the words of head coach Bill Self, the difference in our team. Bill in his 9th Elite Eight, 7th with KU. Now the Powerade sideline report, and we say good evening to Dana Jacobson.
Guys, those Elite Eight losses for both these clubs have fueled them. Dylan Brooks told me while he can't watch the tape from the loss, Coach did and beat himself up about it all summer. And as for Kansas, Landon Lucas said getting back here and getting over the hurdle is what fueled him. It's about the extra work and those sleepless nights. The sad thing, only one of those clubs will be able to jump over that hurdle.
Dana, thank you very much. A decorated officiating crew tonight here in Kansas City. Teddy Valentine, who has officiated 10 Final Fours. Randy McCall, 4 Final Fours. And Terry Oglesby from Maryville, Missouri, his 9th NCAA tournament. And away we go in Kansas City for a right to go to the Final Four.
And Oregon looks like they've started into man-to-man. They do a lot of switching, and they're a great shot blocking team.
One of the best in college basketball. Bell knocks it away. And here comes Tyler Dorsey. He has been on a tear, the 4th leading scorer in the tournament so far. Dylan Ennis back to Dorsey, unloading a 3. Rebound by Bell. So he's got a rebound. He's blocked the shot. And he has put his fingerprints on this game early.
And that's what you want from Jordan Bell, the 3rd leading scorer on this Oregon Ducks team. 2 impressive plays to start this ball game.
They go down low to the Player of the Year, Brooks. He faces up with Jackson.
Kansas also in the man-to-man.
Oh, great spin move by Pritchard.
And that's a freshman against a senior, possibly the Player of the Year in Frank Mason.
How often do you see anybody do that to Frank Mason?
Right.
That's a heck of a spin move down on the baseline. Now, Kansas is not a great shot blocking team. They can block shots, but not at the prolific rate like Oregon does.
And their best shot blocker is Josh Jackson, who leads them.
Mikhailuk on the wing. Shot clock is down to 10. Here is the 3. And it's saved by Mikhailuk, but right back to the freshman that Reg was just talking about, Peyton Pritchard. Now Dorsey at the other end for the Ducks, who are 32-5.
And you heard me at the top, whatever team stays within character. What got you here? For Oregon, it was that matchup zone, and it was Brooks and Dorsey at the offensive end. They got to continue to be brilliant at the offensive end, but maintain what their defensive pressure is.
It goes out of bounds for Brooks.
Now, each team likes to get up and down the court, and I think Kansas might be a little better at that transition game. So Oregon's going to be very concerned about getting back and setting their defense.
Josh Jackson, no one home.
I think he was assuming Frank Mason was going to be in that short corner 3 when he looked weak side.
Last time it was Mikhailuk, but this time he was on the other corner. Well, Bill Self has said it himself yesterday. He said, we are having a hard time getting out of the blocks. Our starts have been very uneven in this tournament so far.
This is a tough game to get off to a poor start because this is one of those games where if you get behind by 10 or 12 early, it's hard to catch up.
He said we've been starting a little tight.
Yeah, but it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And they've been fantastic in their finishes.
Brooks scooping it up. The bodies hit low, and whistle inside with 17:40 to play and 7 seconds on that shot clock, but a heavy collision and a foul. It'll go on Jackson of Kansas. That is his first.
I know it's still early in this ball game, but I'm impressed by Dana Altman and Oregon already making a commitment to the offensive glass. We saw Bell and right there Brooks with the offensive rebounding.
Dylan Ennis, the transfer from Villanova. The freshman Pritchard. And this is Dorsey.
Dribble drive penetration is so important for Oregon for their success at the offensive end.
There was a shove, and there was a foul on Kansas. It's another one, and Jackson has picked up his second, and that is an early story.
Boy, that is a huge early story. Jackson very upset about that call. He has been such a critical player. You said it yourself, Kevin. Bill Self said that this guy has been our key, and he just grabs him by the arm.
Yeah, that's a good call.
That's right in front of the official. You're not going to get away with that. Boy, that's a big blow to Kansas early.
Yeah, but the silver lining you have is LeGerald Vick has played great throughout this tournament off the bench for the Jayhawks.
He comes in now. It's Brooks inside, chiseling his way for the shot, and out of bounds, and off of Kansas. Oregon has it in 16-5.
And Oregon again continuing to attack the offensive glass. They're not a very big team, but what I've been impressed early on, for them to be successful offensively and versus Kansas tonight, dribble penetration is going to be huge.
Good feed, but Pritchard could not convert. And here come the Jayhawks.
I think Vic may have gotten a piece of that as well.
Could have. Brooks and Graham are tangling. Ball's knocked out of bounds. 22 on that clock. Kansas in their 28th consecutive NCAA tournament with 2 fouls on the bench. Jackson.
Yeah, and what you see from Oregon is tremendous ball movement and player movement. That's one of the reasons why they're doing such a good job on the offensive boards. They're really moving that defense around. Have not seen the same thing from Kansas yet.
That's got to be disconcerting. A little bit tough to deal with.
And here's that matchup zone here for Oregon.
But it's the calling card of the Ducks. Landon Lucas from Portland, who grew up just right down the road. And he tries to curl in the paint. He was shoved on the play, and it's a foul on Dylan Brooks, who picks up his first for Oregon.
And Lucas is not a guy inside upon whom Kansas relies for a great deal of scoring. Only scoring about 8 points a game in the tournament. Same as he is during the regular season, but he's a great passer and facilitator in there, but you can't leave him alone. He'll hurt you.
Mason, the Big 12 Player of the Year. Lucas fighting for the ball. Bell grips it away, his second rebound.
Boy, what a factor Bell has been on the inside. Kansas has done a great job in their first couple games driving to the basket, and he's cutting that off.
The drive by Dorsey, right into Mason. Picked up by Vick. Well, Bell's been huge for the Ducks already in this one, and all tournament long. Vick with a 3.
He can knock that down. He's not a great three-point shooter. Very opportunistic. Known more at the defensive end, but you give him that in transition, he'll knock it down all day long.
And again, Vick taking the place of Josh Jackson, who's got a couple fouls on the Kansas bench. With the shot clock down to 6. Athletic catch made by Ennis. Works into Vick and takes it to the rack.
Well, that's what experience will get you from Dylan Ennis.
Very strong, very powerful, a quick first step. He's the guy who can attack the basket very effectively.
The Ducks had a share of the Pac-12 title with Arizona, with their conference record of 16-2. In the Pacific 12, Landon Lucas. And Bell with another rebound.
If I'm Oregon, I will live with that all day long. If Lucas is going to beat me and get you 18 to 25 points, then so be it. That means either Mason, Altman, or Jackson, who's on the bench, is not beating me.
Well, particularly if he's got to shoot over Bell.
Dorsey with a 3. He is the 4th leading scorer in this tournament. Tyler Dorsey, honorable mention, Pac-12.
Well, I like the nickname, Mr. March. Going over his last 2 marches here for Oregon. Talking about ready for primetime player.
It's Devontae Graham working on the freshman. With a bump and a foul, and it goes on that freshman. Peyton Pritchard, who is the Oregon High School Player of the Year. Highly decorated. Foul for the first time on him. Dorsey, every chamber is filled. A 3 right there for the Ducks.
Kansas off to a slow start tonight. They were off to a slow start the other night. One reason is as they try the screen and roll, which is a big part of their offense. Look there, it's set right at the top of the key. The lane is clogged. They can't really accomplish anything. The other day, they made an adjustment. Watch here now as they set the screen and roll much higher, which creates more open space, and that allows Devontae Graham to get in there. Of course, it always helps when you can shoot a three and get fouled at the same time.
You're exactly right. Kansas beat Purdue 98-66. Bill Self said one of the best games we've played all season long. The Ducks took care of Michigan 69-68. They outscored them in the paint by 18 points in a thriller here on Thursday in the Sweet 16. Both teams in the Elite Eight for a second consecutive season. Mason works on Bell and takes it inside.
Mason is not afraid of anybody.
No. And how about him not settling, recognizing that he had Jordan Bell on the perimeter and not settling for a jump shot and taking it all the way to the basket.
As Reggie had pointed out, Casey Benson has checked in. Great feed off that baseline untouched. Dylan Brooks puts in the slammer.
And that's your center, Jordan Bell, delivering that pass.
Bell's had a great start. Vic hit a three. In for the two-fouled Josh Jackson already. Mason, triple.
That's blocked.
It was. Ennis got a hand on it, huh? But taken back by the long reach of Vic. His long shot will not go in. There's another rebound by Bell. He has collected 4. Another three. Wow. That's good. Wow. Dorsey is right on it. Tyler Dorsey was heavily recruited by Kansas. Chose Oregon, leaving his home in Los Angeles for the Pacific Northwest.
And think about this. He only had 4 20-point games all season going into the Pac-12 tournament. Now he has 6 in a row since then.
Dylan Ennis is hurt. He's limping out there. And now he's telling his coach he's okay, but he was limping up and down the court.
He missed most of last season with a foot injury. He then petitioned the NCAA, got a next year, which was his 6th in his career after beginning at Rice, then transferring to Villanova, and now at Oregon. It is a 3 by Devontae Graham, who had 26 the other night against Purdue.
And one of the things we've seen Kansas do throughout this tournament is shoot the ball very well, and they're not shooting it well now.
Dorsey pushing off.
Offensive foul. Kind of using that off arm to create space against Mikhailuk.
It's the first on Dorsey.
But don't forget, one of the big factors in this game is that Josh Jackson went to the bench early with foul trouble. There's that right arm pushing against Mikhailuk. And again, that's one of the things the officials have been looking for all year long. Not going to change in the Elite Eight, that's for sure.
There's a screen from Lucas. They thought about the pick and roll. Outside they go to Vic. Inside to Landon Lucas. Lucas with the jam. His dad played at Oregon. He was recruited by Oregon. He chose Kansas. Dorsey into Lucas. And for the newest Duck in the game, that's Cavell Bigby Williams. In transition, KU. Mason with speed. Vic, Mikhailuk with a 3.
That's all about knowing your personnel. Well, Gerald Vick had a 3, but he understood that Mikhailuk was trailing and it's the better three-point shooter. Know your neighbor.
You can see Ennis has stayed on the floor. He works around the screen. Feeds to Benson. 15-footer. Mason. Kansas is 8-0 in points off turnovers.
Look at this.
Mason again. Pedal to the metal. Vic inside. Oregon foul. Urgency, intensity. Everybody looking to punch a ticket to the Final Four. Fans get complete coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Tournament on NCAA.com. The Women's Final Four is in Dallas on March 31st and April 2nd.
Look in the middle of your screen, number 31 in the green, Dylan Ennis, a very valuable player for the Ducks. He's going to get tangled up with Mikhailuk. It looks like he turns that right ankle. You see he's hopping around. He stayed in the game, although he is on the bench right now. It seems like he's okay.
Yeah, it looked like he tweaked it on Mikhailuk's foot as he was in the middle of that soft pressure there for Oregon.
So at the free throw line is a sophomore from Memphis, Tennessee. LaGerald Vick went to Douglas High School. One time played some high school quarterback in football. He's right now in for Josh Jackson with the 2 fouls. We keep bringing that up, but that is a big story for Kansas.
He went to the bench with 17 minutes and 32 seconds left in the half, and he has been as good as any other player, including Frank Mason, for Kansas during this tournament run.
I've been impressed by Vick. Inserted into the game early because of those 2 fouls. I think he's been fantastic throughout this tournament as the Jayhawks' 6th man.
Pritchard is back in for the Ducks. Bell with a fake. Colby has come in for Kansas. He has been terrific. Subbing for Landon Lucas in the middle for KU.
Kansas man-to-man, switching everything out on the perimeter.
Benson, Pritchard into Mikhailuk along 2. Rebound taken by Devontae Graham.
Nice defense by Kansas, and that's what you want to do versus the Oregon Ducks. You can't allow them just to be standstill shooters. Make them put the ball on the floor to create their own shots.
Colby a high screen. Bell there to greet him. Mason is 1 of 4. Over Dorsey with a 3. Brooks tapped it away. Vacuumed in by Pritchard. Dorsey knocked away by Graham. And then Pritchard gets it back with a great spin move and a feed to Bell, who drops the anvil inside.
How about the pass there by the freshman Pritchard?
Mikhailuk rejected by Bell.
Is Bell everywhere? Is
his ubiquitous play has been the story early in this game.
Oh, man. Look at the pass here by Pritchard. And Bell with the finish and defensively doing it as well. Oh, what a play here by Jordan Bell, who's just been fantastic here to start this game. 5 rebounds and those 2 points, but that does have 2 blocks.
Well, he got that dunk because he ran the court, and then he got that block because he ran the court.
Graham into Vick, who will drive into Brooks. Doubled by Bell.
And he changed that shot by coming over.
Reggie's got a couple of blocks and at least 2 or 3 others he has changed. He has been a tremendous factor for the Ducks.
Landon Lucas has checked in. Bell looking at the coach, Dana Altman of Oregon, saying, I need a break.
Why? Suck it up. This is a chance to move on to Phoenix.
Bell into Lucas. Stepped out of bounds with that dribble drive. The CBS Sports app is your app for the tournament. Follow your bracket, watch highlights, and get instant team and upset alerts. Download the CBS Sports app now to experience every moment of the action. Oregon is led by 7, Kansas by 1. Mason, 1 of 5. Inside to Lucas. The timing was exquisite.
So are we assuming that was a pass or a shot by Frank Mason? Either way.
That was a pass.
Okay.
And that's the way you have to use Lucas. Force the shot blocker to come and then find Lucas, and he's got to find an open spot, and he's done that a couple of times.
Player of the year in the Pac-12. Brooks nudging his way inside.
And look who's getting ready to check back in. The super freshman there, Josh Jackson, with those 2 fouls. And I wonder if Dana Altman is going to try to run some plays for whoever he's going to be guarding and see if they can pick up that cheap 3rd one.
Lucas again. He goes inside on Big B. Williams, who is down there defending for the Ducks. They find Vick on the baseline.
What a pass there by Mason.
How about Vick taking the place of Jackson? 7 points with that 2 right there.
But that's exactly the contribution Kansas has needed because they have really started slowly. Vick has been their key guy.
We have seen this all tournament long from the Jayhawks, and Bill said it's been a problem. Ennis spoon feeds Big B. Williams. That is a foul. It's on KU, and it goes on Mikhailuk, number 1.
What you're seeing now, Oregon not quite so content to just keep the ball out on the perimeter. They run a couple of those exchanges, Reg, and then they're driving the ball to the basket. That's forcing the Kansas defense to collapse. Really nice adjustment by the Ducks here.
Big B. Williams, about a 63% free throw shooter. This Oregon Duck team lost a big defensive presence when Chris Boucher, who is a terrific all-defensive member of that Pac-12 team, blew an E in the Pac-12 tournament. And so we find an Oregon team that is in a state of flux in terms of defense.
Well, and Dana Altman told us that the hard part is adjusting the defense. And plus on offense, Boucher's the guy who can shoot the three, stretch the other team's defense a little bit. And it's a really hard adjustment to have to make that in the middle of postseason play.
In my opinion, it will only hurt them in a close game at the end of games when you need that rim protector.
Vic almost threw it away. It's off the fingertips and ricocheting out of bounds off Ennis with 18 on the shot clock.
Really impressed by this Oregon defense. Just as we saw them disrupt the Michigan rhythm, that's exactly what they're doing today. That switching man-to-man, the matchup zone. They really do a great job getting their hands in passing lanes. You've got to be very careful. They're great at stealing the ball.
Vic with a three. It's a rebound by Pritchard. Ahead to Brooks, 2-on-1.
Oh, nice unselfish play there by Brooks. Brooks to Benson, a beautiful 2-on-1, textbook.
That long rebound off the miss fuels the fast break.
Good point. Casey Benson comes up with two. Landon Lucas with a corkscrew move. Rebound by Brooks. Player down is
that going to be
Ennis.
three? Oh, I thought that was going to be three on Jackson, but they're going to give it on Ennis.
They are.
And
Dylan Ennis.
Now the officials are talking about whether or not it was he swung the elbow, but they've agreed it wasn't.
Well,
down underneath the basket, left side of your screen, Ennis and Jackson locked up. What they called, I think, was that Ennis had him by the arm.
Locked.
Yes.
Yeah, but if you're Jackson, you're very fortunate not to pick up number 3 right there.
Mason with a triple. He was the top three-point shooter in the Big 12 Conference this year. That's a three. Brooks. Good! Wow! He took that from Portland.
And he is a big shot maker.
Josh Jackson. Bigby Williams up in the air. Mason outside. Draws the defense of the freshman. And a floater.
Wow, I could roll with Frank Mason any day. This dude plays hard and gives you everything.
The Ducks have made their last 4. And they come the other way with Brooks on top and Jackson on him. Ennis, step back 3.
Oh my goodness. We didn't see this three-point barrage until late versus Michigan.
Well, what did we talk about before the game? You got to make shots, and Oregon is playing well on the defensive end of the court, and they are making shots.
Oregon is 4-6 from distance. A throwaway, a turnover by Kansas, and picked up by Brooks. Benson, wide open lane. He's been terrific off the bench.
And it's the matchup zone, Dan, and the switching of defense that somewhat has Kansas confused.
Kansas is penetrating inside and throwing the ball away. Those steals generating a lot of offense, and that guy generates a lot of offense.
Just keeps coming at you.
He's got 9.
But think about their second and third best players. Jackson and Graham both have not scored for the Jayhawks.
Oregon has made 6 consecutive shots, approaching 6 to play. Brooks in and out, and picked up by Jackson. So Mason will take it. He has the last 7 points for the Jayhawks. With a Jackson screen, Mason down, shot no good. Pritchard will pick it up.
Is he going to be shooting 3?
That's what Ted Valentine is signaling right now. Pritchard with his second foul. 4 ties and 2 lead changes in this Elite 8 game from Kansas City. Terrific shooting so far by the 3rd-seeded Oregon Ducks out of the Pac-12. 55% from the floor to get things started. With a look at Larry Brown. He has taken 2 different programs to a national championship game. UCLA in '80, Kansas in '88. He's one of 3 coaches that have done that. Frank McGuire did it at St. John's in North Carolina. Roy Williams did it at Kansas in North Carolina. Larry played his college basketball at North Carolina.
Yeah, what a crutch if you're Bill Self to have Larry Brown around at practices. A guy, in my opinion, because I played under him.
You sure did.
The best X's and O's in in-game management and being able to adjust on the fly that I've ever seen in my life.
Mason is at the free throw line.
Speaking of adjusting in games, it's easier if you're Bill Self to adjust in games when you have Frank Mason.
Yes, it does.
Bill Self was talking about Mason the other day, and he says he's looking to score more, which has certainly been a terrific aspect of what he does and how he plays.
Well, how about this? Mason and Vic, 19 of the 26 Jayhawk points here in this first half.
Mason has the last 10 for Kansas. Jackson is still scoreless, but he was in early foul trouble. Back out there now, Bell the spinner. Wow. Bell has played an outstanding game to begin it for the Oregon Ducks.
He's played an outstanding NCAA tournament. He's been fabulous throughout the tournament.
Well, more minutes because of the injury to Boucher.
Bell's got 4, but numerous rebounds. Lucas is short. Bell comes up with another one, shoved on the play, and a foul on KU.
See, and there's the problem with Lucas. When Lucas can catch it and get a layup, that's fine, but when he's got to shoot over Bell, he's struggling. But Bell, no problem shooting over Lucas. This is a nice job, very patient inside. Nobody comes to double team, and they can't because he's a pretty good passer, and so he just makes a very nice-looking turnaround jump shot.
Lucas with his first. And approaching 5 to play in this regional final, the Midwest from Kansas City.
What a great matchup here between Dorsey and Graham.
To Dorsey.
Right now, Dorsey getting the better of Devontae Graham.
And Bill Self, he calls a timeout because his team is just not doing a very good job on the defensive end.
They've usually been shaking it off after this time. Not tonight. Kansas City has hosted more Final Fours than any other city. That's why the official Hall of Fame of men's basketball is here. Every exhibit boasting authentic equipment with a look at what's to come. Boy, tomorrow we have got 2 SEC teams in Florida and South Carolina. Kentucky is involved from the SEC. They'll take on North Carolina, and these were some terrific performances yesterday.
How about that shot in that Florida game? Huh? I mean, a couple shots.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Everybody said that didn't have any overtime and buzzer beaters. Well, they had all of that in that Wisconsin-Florida game. What a great win by the Gators.
Oregon on the defensive side. They knock it away, and Ennis goes hurtling the bench.
Guess that ankle is okay.
I guess it is. You look like Edwin Moses over there.
See, and now just great anticipation. Lucas not even looking for him.
At least he was going into friendly territory. Mason, Graham, Lucas with a screen, Jackson down low, and Vic. That's the Kansas 5 on the floor. Mason with a floater.
He has every single shot in the arsenal. Every one.
Runners, floaters, jumpers, mid-range game. You name it, the National Player of the Year, Mason has it.
He has hit the last 12 points for Kansas. Oregon has gone 8 of the last 9. 9 of 10 with Brooks pulling the trigger. He has 9 in the game.
Boy, I have no idea how LeGerald Vic could lose Dylan Brooks that close to the basket. Way too easy.
Vic traveled.
Or is it going to be an offensive foul on Mason?
Sure is. It is. Away from the ball.
Little moving screen on that dribble handoff, Kevin.
Mason picks up his first. Rolling Stone calls Samantha Bee the best thing to happen to late night TV. Watch Full Frontal with Samantha Bee, all new Wednesdays at 10:30 on TBS.
Boy, if you're Dana Altman in Oregon, you've got the tempo the way you've wanted. You're making shots. Your best players are engaged. What a great first half here for the Ducks.
Brooks, Dorsey. They've got some weaponry on the perimeter. Dorsey again, 3, no. Bell with the rebound, took it over the smaller Jayhawks. He's got 7 in the corner, and it's triple. Rebound Bell. Offensive rebound after offensive rebound.
That's 8 rebounds, 3 of them at the offensive end for Jordan Bell, who's been spectacular here in the first half for Oregon.
Well, he's got 8 rebounds. Kansas has 10 total.
Ennis with a triple. He's got 8. Brooks has 9. Dorsey has 8.
And another thing this start has done, it has taken out really this home court advantage for the Jayhawks here in Kansas City.
Ducks have their biggest lead. Graham on the wing. Jackson on top. Looking down low for Lucas. A lot of green around him. Knocked away with the deflection.
Another block shot for Bell. Make that number 3 here in the first half.
Well, the next time he signals Dana Altman to come out of the game, Dana Altman's going to turn his back. That guy needs to be in there.
Brooks.
Dribble penetration is so huge for Oregon. That's how they generate most of their offense with no low post game.
Dylan Brooks. Jackson with the rebound. He's got 2. Jackson is scoreless, 0 of 1. Kicks it out. Mason, 3. And he's got 17. He is putting the Jayhawks on his back.
Well, talk about dribble penetration. Fantastic job there by Jackson, not only to get the rebound, but to go coast to coast and collapse the middle for Frank Mason.
Mason has the last 15 points for Kansas, 17 for him personally right now.
Yeah, but 2 minutes left in the half, though. You might want to think about getting Jackson and his 2 fouls out of the game.
Dorsey's got Graham on him. Shot clock at 2. Benson's got to hoist it. That's a shot clock violation. Program record 32 wins for Oregon, on top of KU by 5.
We have to say that maybe the most dominating presence in this game so far has been Jordan Bell, blocking shots on the one end, running and dunking on the other end, and of course 8 rebounds. He's had 12 and at least 12 in every NCAA tournament game. But look at those numbers: 4 points, 8 rebounds, 3 blocks, and Reggie 2 assists to go along with it.
All-around game.
Reggie, what strikes you about the Jayhawks so far?
If I'm Bill Self, to be down 5 points, and you've got Frank Mason and LaGerald Vick that has 24 of our 31 points, no Jackson and no Graham. Both have only taken 1 shot attempt.
Well, Jackson picked up those 2 fouls, and he has played very tentatively since he's been back in the game.
They go inside, heavily covered. Lucas gets 2.
Well, that time they threw it over the top, and he got it up there before Bell could react. He's had a tough time shooting it over Bell, but not when he's been able to get to the basket.
And you mentioned this earlier, Jackson still on the floor with those 2 fouls.
Ennis over Jackson.
Smart move by Ennis. Go directly at him.
Boy,
put the pressure on the official.
Boy, I sure would. And I think Mikhailuk is there at the bench ready to come in for Jackson, but Jackson has to be very careful.
Mason again, rejected by Bell. He is playing handball tonight.
Jordan Bell is having a block party here in Kansas City. And he's wondering who wants to be invited to the party.
He's got 4 blocks.
I like it, young fella.
Well, he just goes after the ball. And Dylan Brooks that time did a great job rotating down and taking away the passing lane for Frank Mason. Forced Mason to try to get that over Bell, and nothing doing tonight trying to get it over that gap.
Mason, 17 points, matches his career high for first half points.
And Kansas has needed every single one of them.
Yeah, you sure have. Graham kicks it out of bounds.
This is not the Devontae Graham that we have seen in the first 3 games of
He's
this
been
tournament.
huge in this tournament for Kansas.
He just had 26 the other night. Played fantastic versus Purdue. Knocking down shots. Remember isolation towards the end of that game? 3 straight possessions.
Dorsey at 3.
Yes, in, out, and in. Friendly bounce here for Tyler Dorsey, who has 11 points on 4 of 6 shooting, 3 of 5 from downtown.
Well, a great job by Oregon to go down and get that shot quickly, the old 2 for 1. You know, they didn't hang on to it, so now they're going to get the ball back probably with about 7 seconds left in the half.
Kansas shooting 43%, Oregon shooting 58%. It's picked up with another Jayhawk turnover. Yeah, we got 14 seconds to play in the first half. Oregon is led by as many as 8, which is their lead now. Final 9 seconds.
What a first half by Oregon.
What a first half by Dorsey and Bell.
Oh, no!
Are you kidding me? You've got to be kidding me.
The Jayhawks have their largest deficit of the tournament. Number 1 is on the ropes, and Dorsey from distance spectacular.
Well, this is what you want from Mr. March. You don't get that name if you don't show out. Tyler Dorsey, Oregon Ducks. What a first half performance here a chance to move on to Phoenix and the Final Four.
All right, coming up in the AT&T at the half, Greg Clark, Kenny, and Charles will have first half analysis. They'll tell you how Xavier and Gonzaga became what a great story going into this because of Xavier's win over Arizona. Gonzaga, though, prevailing right before this. That's on the AT&T at the half. Let's swing it over to Dana.
All right, Kevin, thank you. Coach, we talked before the game about your guys needing to have their A game out there. Certainly Jordan Bell has. What can you say about their effort so far?
Well, Jordan played really well. We lucked out on a 2-for-1 there. Tyler hit a couple long ones, but you know, the guys have played hard. We gave up a few shots in transition that I didn't like to see, but I loved our activity, and our board play was good, and Jordan Bell was special. He really did a good job.
You also said to me that you knew these guys were going to score, meaning Kansas, but you just couldn't give up the easy baskets. How do you continue to do that in the second half?
Well, other than a couple of transition threes, and I thought we took a charge there and we didn't get it, and they hit an open three there. You know, I thought we did it pretty good. Our activity on defense was pretty good, and Jordan cleaned up a lot of misses inside.
Thanks, Coach.
The Oregon Ducks shot 60% in that first half, and they are plus 9 points beyond the arc. We're going to take you to the AT&T at the half after these messages. You're watching the Elite Eight, the Midwest Regional Final, and the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship on TBS. Midwest Regional Final, Kansas City taking a look at the Northwestern Mutual first half numbers. Dan, 60% shooting by the Ducks.
Well, obviously they've shot the ball very well, Kevin. Now the stats showed you there. They've made 7 3-point baskets. They've blocked shots. They've rebounded very well, and I think their defense has disrupted Kansas, Reg.
Well, you heard Charles, and you heard Clark, and you heard Kenny talking about getting Graham, getting Jackson involved. Frank Mason was spectacular offensively in that first half, and here's the struggles of Graham and Jackson. And I called Devontae Graham the X factor last game because when he plays well, to me, this Kansas Jayhawks team is unbeatable. Only one shot attempt for the spectacular shooting guard of Kansas.
Let's go to Dana Jacobson.
All right, guys, when you talk about getting both Jackson and Graham more involved, I asked Coach, and he said it's about playing smarter, being patient on offense. We've got to get the ball going side to side, and as for defense, the guys just have to guard their man. Best thing he said, though, was before the guys left the locker room, be patient. We've been here before, and remember, we've got plenty of time.
As Bill Self said before this game got underway, this is the biggest step to make. You're so close to a season-long goal. You go through the rounds of 64 and 32, the Sweet 16. You get to the Elite Eight, things change.
Well, Bill Self said that they've been here before. Well, 7 times this season, Kansas has overcome a double-digit deficit to win a game. That's the third most in the nation.
Bell is fouled as he backpedals on the rebound on the missed 3 by Dorsey. And the foul here will go on Lucas, who has assessed his second for the Jayhawks.
And that is the 4th offensive rebound by Bell. And he's just been a handful for Kansas this entire game.
Unstoppable. They go inside. That's deflected out of bounds. Dorsey, just as a quick historical note, is now the first Pac-12 player ever to have 4+ threes in 3 consecutive NCAA tournament games.
Well, there's a reason why they call him Mr. March then.
Did those other guys bank one in, though?
He wanted to put a little style on it. It's Brooks, the player of the year. Bell, who has been unstoppable defensive player of the year, and he throws it away. That's one way to stop him. Mikhailuk with the interception. Graham, Mason, Devontae Graham free to fire. Rebound, Jackson got in the way with Lucas. They're still fighting each other for the ball. And they argue as they go back.
Well, the positive thing there for Kansas is Graham finally got an open shot, and there Brooks picks up a foul. Boy, that was not a very smart play. Good heavens.
Brooks has his second.
And it happened right in front of the official. I mean, there's no need for a great acting there by Jackson.
I don't think he hit him that hard, but he did push him.
Oh, I love it. I love the acting job there. Don't get me wrong.
Of course you would love the acting part.
I love it. But I didn't know the official could fall for it.
Well, I think it was a foul anyway. It just was emphasized. Is he in the theater major there at Kansas?
Mikhailuk. He's got 5.
Well, we know Kansas has the firepower offensively to get back in this ball game. The question is going to be defensively, can they stop the Ducks here in this half-court offense?
Remember, Oregon shot 60% in that first half. Pritchard. Ennis.
Called the foul on Mikhailuk.
Mikhailuk will pick it up, and that is number 2.
You have to be aggressive on defense, but you also have to keep your hands off.
Dana Altman is imploring his team to run and execute their offense. Stay in character.
3.
Wow.
Brooks. How about that?
With a little tongue out on his way down the court, too.
Brooks from suburban Toronto, a 4-star recruit. He's had 3 game-winning threes this season. So accurate. Part of the Canadian connection for Oregon. A miss by Mason. Jackson gets a hand on it. Graham retrieves it, but he is stuffed. Mikhailuk, Lucas, Mason. Graham maneuvers for 2. Fouled Ennis. He's got 2.
And Dylan Brooks, who just got called for the foul, I think he's going to take it out on Jackson here. It just goes right up. Jackson's in pretty good shape defensively, and Brooks has a message for the Kansas crowd.
But also, too, Jackson being a little bit tentative defensively because of those 2 fouls.
Only 3 programs over the last 2 years have won at least 30 games in a season. Oregon, Kansas, Villanova. We got 2 of those 3 here.
And maybe that'll get Graham going. He just has not been able to get the ball in the basket. Maybe making those 2 free throws will help him get rolling.
Here's Bell. He almost has as many rebounds as the entire Kansas team. 3. Pritchard missed it all. Bell!
Who else?
Jordan has been fantastic.
No, better that. Spectacular here. And you look at his score, and he only has 6 points. But those 10 rebounds, 5 of which are offensive, to go along with those 4 block shots.
Well, that's another example. 2 Kansas guys that time, Mason and Lucas fighting for the ball. They knock it away from one another, and Bell makes them pay for it.
Mason picks up his 2nd.
Man, it's just his energy. And I know there's a lot of guys playing at that next level that do exactly what Bell's doing and make a great living.
The Oregon Ducks have their biggest lead of the game. Mikhailuk. Jackson, 3.
I'll live with that all day long.
Jackson still has not scored. That early foul trouble with 2. They took him out a good chunk of the first. The try by Dorsey.
Kevin, that makes it a 15-point game, and I will point out that 14 is the largest deficit that Kansas overcame to win this year.
16-4 run here to start this second half for Oregon.
Graham. Looked like he was in a straight jacket, got away. Mason the floater. No, over a lot of distance inside. Picked up by Bell. He's got 11 rebounds.
And it looks to me like Kansas is in a big hurry. Everything's way too fast. They have to calm down. There's plenty of time left in the game. You don't need to get rid of the deficit all at once.
3, Brooks, no. Leaping high, skying for the ball, Jackson. He's got 4. But scoreless in this game. He averages 16 a game.
And again, the Oregon defense makes them stop, and it has Kansas all discombobulated.
Jackson knocked away by Bell. He's got 5 block shots. An amazing performance. As good as we've seen all tournament long. The Oregon Ducks have not been to the Final Four in 78 years. 15:59 to play in the Elite Eight in Kansas City. Well, Gonzaga right now has made some history going to the Final Four for the first time ever. And look at the SEC. 3 schools remaining in the Elite Eight. It hasn't happened before since 1986.
Kansas in this game down 15. The largest deficit they faced all season was 14 when they came back to win. They're just discombobulated completely. You sense a little bit of panic creeping in, at least among the Kansas faithful.
Well, you heard me at the top saying both of these teams were devastated last year in their Elite Eight performances. Now one has a chance to move on. Which team was going to stay in character? So far, it's been Oregon. They've done everything they wanted. And Jordan Bell now with 6 block shots here in this ball game.
That ties a season high. His high has been 8 in his career.
Great timing.
That is amazing. 2 to shoot.
Well, you know, I would say by this time he's lost the element of surprise. You have to stop doing that.
Running is Pritchard.
And when I say stay in character, for Kansas, it was being very patient offensively, moving the ball from side to side. We saw that through those 3 games that we covered. We haven't seen that tonight. No ball movement, quick shots, turnovers, out of character.
And they're hitting everything they put up. The Ducks are at 58%. Kansas has missed their last 6.
What a great job getting back on defense by Oregon. They turned it over, but they prevented Kansas from getting an easy one.
Colby, by the way, checked in moments ago for Lucas. Look how far Devontae Graham is out when he fires that triple.
Out of character, quick shots. I mean, now you're pressing because you look at Graham's line, he only has 2 points and no field goal attempts. Those came from the free throw line.
7 straight misses for KU.
And they have not been good shots. And every time Oregon scores, it just adds to the pressure.
Dorsey's got 16. Guy with the ball here has 12. Brooks. 3. Wow. My goodness.
I think people are shocked here.
Why not? If he's going to make shots like that, you're not going to come back into any game.
And I think a lot of the Kansas fans here are shocked is because Kansas had been so dominating throughout their first 3 games. Especially in the second half.
7 straight misses for KU. Mason, the hesitation and the floater.
He's been the lone star offensively. He's been the one guy along with Vic once Jackson picked up those 2 fouls offensively, but that's been it.
Dana, what do you have?
Well, guys, when we were talking with Dylan Brooks yesterday, he told us he loves to silence a crowd more than get a home crowd going. He is certainly quieting a lot of these Kansas fans today.
It's Bell into Colby. Too many steps with the travel. Hey, fans, follow your favorite NCAA events throughout the year with the official NCAA Sports app. Get scores, brackets, live updates, and live streaming of NCAA championships all year long with NCAA Sports. .59% shooting for the Ducks. Kansas at 37%.
So important here for Casey Benson, number 2 in green, to continue to keep this pace up for the Oregon Ducks with Pritchard going to the bench.
Can you believe, as active as Bell has been, that is only his first foul of the game.
And it appears that he has taken great offense that the foul was called on him.
You're right. And I think he's injured. I think he took a shot to the chest. Let's see, below his...
Yeah, he's asking to come out of the game, Kevin. You're right, yeah.
And he's telling the official, I went straight up. But you're right, it looked like he may have gotten the wind knocked out of him.
He's holding on to his rib with Jackson at the line.
Still scoreless.
I'm stunned by that.
Josh
as confidently
Jackson,
as he has played.
Who had played fantastic in this tournament throughout the first 3 games. Overall game, he does have 5 rebounds and 3 assists.
Cavell Bigby Williams comes in for Bell.
And let's remember, he doesn't shoot free throws well. He only shoots 57% on the season from the free throw line, Jackson does.
This is the time they bring in Boucher. Look at Brooks' drive. Ennis thought 3 into Jackson. Benson scooping it up. Rebound by Lucas. Kansas now with speed. Look at Mason. Drive inside. He's like a minnow in shallow water. As quick as he is. Hard to catch. Takes it in. And this is the 7th consecutive game with 20 points for Frank Mason. Ultra quick. A turnover. This is how things can turn. Mikhailuk, Vic, 15, make it a 13-footer. Rebound by Brooks.
You know, you get this far down, you get the feeling you have to make every good shot you get. And Kansas, that was a great opportunity, but it's going to be hard to come back, particularly when Oregon has so many shot makers.
10 turnovers for the Ducks, 4 in this second half already.
Brooks feeding. Bigby Williams can't get it. Here comes Jackson galloping ahead. Mason broken up on the play. What a defensive play by Dorsey. On the floor they are.
Oh, man.
Picked up by Benson.
You want to move on to Phoenix, you've got to make plays like that.
Brooks into Lucas.
Those are championship plays right there being made on the floor by Oregon. Who wants it more?
Brooks has 17.
Boy, Brooks has been fabulous.
12 to play. Inside, good feed. Lucas banging his way. Bigby Williams who will pick up the foul for Oregon. And they're going to bring back in Bell. Bigby Williams picks up his first. The turnover and the 2 for the Ducks on top.
Kevin, what I want you to watch right here, this is just after that last play ended. And Reggie's been talking about how Kansas is a little bit out of character. Well, watch Frank Mason right there. And as this plays over, he and Mikhailuk are having a very intense conversation. That is out of character for this Kansas team, certainly.
Lucas is at the line.
Boy, and that's now 3 consecutive free throws that they've missed. And when you're trying to come back from a 16-point deficit, you can't leave points at the line.
Kansas has attempted 3 free throws. Oregon will make it. Kansas has attempted 10 free throws. Oregon just 3. Rebounding advantage for the Ducks. Right now at +6. Mason, Reggie, has 19 of the Jayhawks' last 26 points. And Kansas has not been opportunistic. Oregon has turned the ball over 5 times this half, and Kansas only has 2 points off those turnovers. Nice rotation, Ennis 3. Rebound by Vic, who is seeing a lot of minutes in this one.
So now you got to push it up and you've got to score.
Mikhailuk is out. Mason lasers it inside. Jackson doubled.
That's his first field goal right there. A little lay-in here. With just a little over 11 minutes left in this second half. Now defensively, can they string together some stops here?
7-2 Kansas run.
But it's a Kansas team that has been a spurt team all year long, and that's the way you break a spurt right there.
Wide open Bell. Slams it in. Bell has got 11 rebounds, 9 points, 6 blocks, and 3 assists. He's done it all. Jackson will dance and float one.
What was that?
Now let's take a look at this last play. Right there is Bell, and watch as he's just going to go here to this area of the basket because there's nobody there. They're trying to pressure the ball. That's the risk you take. You're trying to create turnovers. If you handle the turnover, if you handle the pressure in your Oregon, you can find open players.
Jackson wanted to tee up a 3. He'll try for 2. He's got 4. It's Dorsey.
Let's see if Oregon can kind of get back to that dribble penetration, trying to collapse this Jayhawks defense.
Dylan Brooks. Vic is on him. The crossover, the drive, rebound by Jackson. He seems engaged now that he is scoring. With a rebound there, Mason racing the other way. Graham thought 3.
But they are doing a great job pushing out on Devontae Graham, not letting him have the look from out beyond the arc.
Lucas a high screen, Mason triple. Rebound inside the Ducks. And Bell, he has collected 12. Down court, Ennis into Jackson. The reverse doesn't go. Jackson the rebound.
And they've got numbers here.
Mason, Vic, Graham a 3. He just does not have it tonight.
Oregon is dodging so many bullets here with quick shots here as opposed to running their offense and some time off the clock here. Very fortunate Kansas hasn't been able to score.
Graham 0 of 4. Bell into Lucas. We're approaching 9 to play. Dorsey, Bell, doubled. Knocked out. It's off of Kansas. 3 on the shot clock.
Got to recognize this. I see Coach Altman instructing his team 3 on the shot clock here as Mikhailuk is going to check in here for LeGerald Vick.
3 to shoot. They're going to bring in Pritchard, and they'll take out Casey Benson.
Good minutes there by Benson in spell of Pritchard.
Up to Bell, lost the ball, another turnover, his 4th personally. Lucas at the other end. Oh, great rejection by Bell! How did he do that? Mason the other way. Graham, and the floater, he's 0 of 5. Picked up by Ennis.
Wow.
The gallop and a 3-on-2, and and an official foul. And Graham, I think, picked up the foul.
Randy McCall.
Jordan
went right out front. Watch Jordan Bell here come from behind.
That is amazing.
Wow. That is spectacular.
What hustle. What hustle.
And let me just say, from a guy that's been on the receiving end of a guy with a chase down block, that is spectacular there by Jordan Bell by not giving up on the play.
Who blocked you? Who was it?
Don't start.
Come on.
Don't start.
Cough it up.
I'm just telling you, I still think it was goaltending. Tayshaun.
Of course you did. Tayshaun Prince of Kentucky. And the Pistons, 8:54 to go here. It's Brooks. Brooks has 17, Dorsey has 16. Dorsey's got the ball, the former Los Angeles High School Player of the Year. McDonald's All-America.
And he's been quiet in this second half. But
Brooks,
here's the guy that's been their offense in the second half.
Kansas has had some opportunities. They just cannot convert. The Oregon defense tightening up right when it needs to.
It's Mason inside. Good-looking rebound by Colby. Outside, Graham could not hold on to it. It is the Jayhawks ball with 18 shot clock seconds there.
Kevin, even when he doesn't block the shot, Bell is the guy who is affecting everything in there. Kansas drives in and they're looking for him. And when they see him, they shoot it too high, they shoot it short. They just can't get the ball past him.
And quietly, Jordan Bell working on a triple-double, 9 points, 11 rebounds, and 7 block shots.
He's been terrific. He has been a one-man wrecking crew for the Ducks here in Kansas City tonight. 8.5 to go. Ducks have led by as many as 18 with a drive inside. And an Oregon foul. That is going to go on Dorsey, and Tyler Dorsey will pick up his second.
And that's a particular play. If they beat you, don't foul them because Bell is back there, and I think had they not fouled, he'd have gotten another block.
Devontae Graham at the line, 2 points. Both from the stripe, 0 of 5 from the floor. As Reggie said earlier, he's coming off a 26-point performance against Purdue on Thursday. Well, she's back, and she's still a cop. Watch a special presentation of Angie Tribeca. Season 3, that's tonight after the games on TBS.
And guys, I can kind of see the tide turning just a little bit in Kansas' favor here because they're getting stops at the other end. The question is, are they going to have enough offense to get back in this ball game and get this crowd back on their side?
For the game, Kansas shooting 35%, Oregon shooting 52%. Weaving through traffic, Dorsey,
wow.
What a play!
Are you kidding me? How did he split that? I mean, that's unbelievable move there by Dorsey.
18 for Dorsey.
And that's the problem when you're trying to come back from a big deficit against a team with guys who can make shots.
Colby knocked away by Ennis, and again he goes hurdling. This time, hurdling over Photographer's Row. He's been in the air more than he's been on the ground. Tyler Dorsey has been terrific. 18 points. He pulls off a Houdini here for the Oregon Ducks. 7:48 to go.
And we said before the game that if you can't make shots, you're going home. And in this second half, when Kansas is trying to mount a comeback, they're 5 for 20.
And 0 of 7 from downtown.
And they've missed 6 of their last 7. Third foul, Pritchard. Oregon.
And Reggie, you pointed out, Kansas's defense has gotten a couple of stops. They've created an opportunity for the offense to maybe get them back in the game, but they simply cannot put the ball in the basket. And here's Jackson back to the line after missing 2 his previous trip.
Yeah, if you're Oregon, if you had to foul someone and send them to the free throw line, it would be Jackson. 57% on the season. Still, you look at Jackson's stat line. This is a guy that's dominated, along with Mason, who's been fantastic tonight, and Graham throughout these 3 games. 6 points, only 2 of 6 field goals here.
They had Keith Smith in there for that very short time. Defense is his calling card.
But they were working on Brooks. It looked like he may have caught a cramp.
Right.
And they were working on those calves and those legs, trying to wake him up a little bit here for this stretch run.
Brooks. Jackson defends.
Oh, that's a heck of a play. Very
Sure
nearly
is.
came up with a steal. When you're talking about making shots, Devontae Graham has shot very well, almost 60% from the field, almost 60% from the line in the tournament coming in today. He's 0 for 5 overall, 0 for 4 from the three-point line. Kansas can't win like that.
Shot clock at 7. Brooks, 3. Jackson, rebound. Mason, but a lot of green around him.
Boy, transition defense has been great for Oregon. Another foul, pass off.
That goes on Oregon. I think it's on Dorsey. It is third.
And I believe that's going to send Jackson back to the free throw line for a one-on-one opportunity here. So here, you get a chance to score with your defense being able to get set in no time coming off the clock. This is a win for Bill Self here.
Kansas has 13 more free throw attempts than Oregon. Coming up next, get all the tournament highlights and analysis on Inside March Madness. It's presented by Buick, only on TBS.
Dan, there's an eternity left in this ball game. And if you're Dana Altman in Oregon, you've got to play to win this ball game as opposed to play not to lose when you've got a big lead.
Well, you got Tyler Dorsey and you got Dylan Brooks, and those are guys who can make shots in tough situations.
Can they get anything going towards the rim? Everything's been a contested 3 here.
Bella screen.
Good D there by Jackson.
Dorsey. Mason there, thrashing him. 3.
Are you
Dorsey.
kidding me?
That ends a 14-6 Kansas run. Mikhailuk at the other end and out of bounds and off of Oregon.
I guess when you work out over the summer with Giannis Antetokounmpo, the forward for the Milwaukee Bucks, you're able to shoot these kind of shots over length. Tyler Dorsey with a nice long-range three-pointer here.
And the 7th consecutive game that Dorsey has had 20 points or more.
That's just what I was talking about. You're trying to make a comeback, you close the gap, and then the other team has guys like Brooks and Dorsey that can score in tough situations.
Woo! Talk about scoring in tough situations. Josh Jackson, and that was with Jordan Bell rotating over to try to block the shot.
All Jackson's points have been in the second half. He's got 10.
You're Oregon, you've got to play to win this game. There's no time to go 4 corners here. Continue to be in attack mode.
Bell. Ennis. Look away. Pritchard. Shot clock violation.
Too many pump fakes. Pritchard had a shot. Ennis had a shot. You got to play and be aggressive and continue to attack. You just can't run time off the clock and hope that Dorsey bails you out with a long 3.
I think you got to give some credit to the Kansas defense there.
Yeah.
They were very, very aggressive. Now Kansas, they got to move it up the court. They don't have to go ultra fast, but they have to score quickly. They're still down by double digits.
Well, Jackson has 10 of the Jayhawks' last 11 points. Here he goes again. Thinking 3, step back 3. Big rebound inside by Brooks. He's got 5.
And did anybody notice who had a hand in Jackson's face?
Mm-hmm.
It was that Bell guy who's been everywhere.
5.5 to go.
Oregon's running entirely too much time off the clock here and then hoping something happens within the last 5 seconds of the shot clock.
It's down to 5 right now. Dylan Brooks against Jackson. He's got to fire. Rebound Mason.
But can Kansas score? They've had the opportunities. They've come up with stops.
Graham. Rebound Dorsey.
You know, guys, it just may not be in the cards for the Jayhawks today. Their defense has been really good here the last couple of possessions. Dana Altman is very upset with his troops.
Kansas only shooting 35% as the Ducks try to weather the storm in Kansas City.
And we take a look at our game summary. You see Dorsey playing very well, Mason, but here's something that's hampering a comeback. You can't go 0 for 9 from beyond the arc edge and mount a comeback in the second half.
And then moments ago, this was the huddle for Oregon. We saw Frank Mason and Mikhailuk having words. And here's Brooks having words with the assistant coaches and some of his teammates and head coach Dana Altman. And this is what I say. I know emotions are high. I love that. Frank Mason, Dylan Brooks, all they want to do is win. That's why I scratched that off. These are two guys that just want to compete at the highest level.
Well, Oregon looking for a little bit better ball movement. You'd like Brooks or Dorsey to be taking the shot at the end of the shot clock, but you'd like a little more ball movement.
Shot clock at 3. Brooks can't get it. Bounced out of bounds. Volleyballed away. It's off of Oregon. And it will be the Jayhawks ball. Let's go to Dana Jacobson.
Guys, you were talking about Dylan Brooks having words there in that timeout. He was upset because he didn't know how much time was on the shot clock, so it was about communicating as a team there.
Well, all he has to do is look up at those red numbers. It's not hard.
Mikhailuk.
Okay, now we've got it into single digits. Got just a little over 4 minutes left, and your defense has been spectacular for Kansas here in the second half.
Mikhailuk's got 7, approaching 4 to play.
Too much time being off the clock here for Oregon. What a pass.
What a pass indeed. Ennis got it, and Bell passed it. Bell has been terrific with his big man passing. He's got 4 assists, 7 blocks, 11 rebounds, and 9 points for the Ducks. That was as good. That was a pass that Dan Fouts would have appreciated.
Kansas has to make some threes.
The Oregon alum. Into Lucas.
Your Bell, wide front Lucas. Oh, and Lucas is hurt. I don't know if he bumped knees with someone after that dunk, but he's holding his shin.
But you can't trade baskets. If you're Kansas, if Oregon, you're perfectly happy to trade 2 for 2.
Bell calling for the ball because Lucas is laboring right now. Here's Brooks. He has missed 5 consecutive shots. Shot clock is down to 7. Dylan Brooks, the bump. No basket, but a foul.
Well, I will tell you this, Dylan Brooks, at the next level where you'll probably be playing, that's an and 1.
The emotions of a big game, an Elite 8 game, a regional final on TBS. Jayhawks trying to come back. They were 18 down. They've only had a lead, and that was of a point. Mason has been scoreless the last 10 minutes or so. Jackson has gotten the hot hand in the second half for KU, but the Jayhawks guys only shooting 32% in the second half.
And in my opinion, Oregon has been up against the clock pretty much this whole second half. They've made some shots by Brooks and Dorsey to kind of bail them out. I'd like to see them start their offense, around 12 seconds and get something going to the rim as opposed to 5 seconds left on the shot clock.
Casey Benson. Rebound by Jackson. The average Oregon possession this half has been 24 seconds.
Now let's see if Kansas is scoring. I'm telling you, they need to make threes.
Jackson. Mikhailuk 3.
And that's their first 3 here in this second half.
As the Oregon zone reacts, watch the pass go from Jackson to Mikhailuk. He gives the little penetration. They go to try to stop him, and he knocks down the 3. Kevin, as you said, their first 3 of the second half, and now suddenly it's a 6-point game. But the big question is, does Kansas have enough time?
They were all 9 until that hit.
And I like the defensive pressure full court here by Kansas. And let's see how the freshman is going to react to the chance to move on to the Final Four with this pressure.
Look at Jackson's defense. Bell got it. Pritchard kept his head. The third-seeded Ducks of Oregon. The number one-seeded Jayhawks of Kansas.
And now's the time to run some time off the clock here.
And that's a good plan if you can make the shot at the end of the clock.
Shot clock at 2.
Do they know?
Dorsey does. He just threw it up. Big rebound by Bell.
Jackson and Mason battling for the rebound.
That's at least 3 times in this game that we've seen a very similar play. 2 guys for Kansas battling for the ball, and the Ducks are the guys who come up with it. That's an unbelievable play.
Well, put it in the Pac-12 Player of the Year's hands. Him or Dorsey, Mr. March.
Dorsey lets it rip.
That's the ball game, guys.
Mr. March.
Unbelievable. 6 threes, 24 for him.
Oh, my
A rejection
goodness.
by Bell.
Number 8 by Jordan Bell.
And that's Mason going in.
Oh, my goodness.
This rebound, gigantic.
Wow. And then here's Mr. March, Tyler Dorsey, the pride of Pasadena, getting it done.
Like the officials are talking about who touched that ball.
They're going to go to the monitor. But again,
They can't under 2 minutes.
if Oregon finds a way to hold on to this game, Jordan Bell is my MVP for them to move on. This young man has been unbelievable at both ends of the floor. And you're going to look at his stat lines and say he only had 9 points. He has controlled the paint area defensively to go along with those 4 assists, but 8 block shots.
Mikhailuk, quick 3. Rebound Dorsey. Jackson takes it away, and then it's Dorsey coming out of the pack as Jackson could not hold on to it. The other quick foul, and that will go on Kansas. The Oregon Ducks have not been to the Final Four since 1939. It was the first year of the tournament. They played it in Evanston, Illinois, and they beat, in that first national championship ever in 1939, Ohio State. 78 years since the Ducks have gone to the Final Four. Right now, 1:20 away.
And
I think you got a foul.
And this is a plus when you have Brooks, Pritchard, and
A
Dorsey.
3. Bell.
Who else?
Another rebound.
Oh,
That's
my
the
God.
difference. And then a
That's good.
rejection by Jackson. Caught it, goaltend. And Bell gets 2.
11 points, 13 rebounds, 7 of which are offensive, and 8 block shots. 2 block shots away from a triple-double.
This is just a fantastic play by Bell. He tips it to himself, so that's 1 rebound. Then he gets the second rebound and score.
Mason 3. Rebound Jackson in a thicket of defenders. But then it was stolen by Pritchard and taken by the Ducks, and a quick foul on Jackson, who smothers Dorsey.
And
Jackson's got 4.
And Oregon, think about this, has come into Kansas City. Basically, this is a road game for Oregon.
That's the score sheet from 1939. Only 5,000 saw it in late March. Wandering Webfoot's whip, Ohio State. Oh, my goodness.
Wow. Well, I wonder what the
70
headline will say.
78 years.
Wow.
We've had Gonzaga make it for the first time ever, and we could have yet another historical leap.
Well, Dylan Brooks told us when we were talking to him yesterday that there is that one championship banner hanging up in the rafters at Oregon, but it looks a little lonely. And so he was very anxious to see whether or not they could get one up there to keep it company.
Under a minute. It was 66-60 after Mikhailuk hit the 3. Oregon has gone on a 6-0 run. Mikhailuk outside. Vic triple. Rebound Dorsey. 5 of them. Foul Kansas.
Well, at this point in the game, if you're Oregon, you don't have to worry about defending the 2 because Kansas can't score enough 2s fast enough to beat you. Now, Kevin, think about this. Kansas coming into this game in 3 NCAA tournament games was averaging 96 points a game. And this Oregon team, we talked about their shooting in the first half, but their defense has restricted that Kansas team, 96 points a game, to 60 points.
Oregon confused Michigan 2 nights ago. a high-scoring, lots of threes activity team. And tonight, you just mentioned the numbers for Kansas. They did the exact same thing.
Well, Kansas, we've seen them play, and they rely heavily on their ability to get the ball to the basket, force the defense to collapse, and kick it out for threes. But Jordan Bell took that particular play away. He dominated the inside, and Kansas was never able to get anything going.
It's out of bounds on the shot by Graham.
And Mr. March, once again, Tyler Dorsey make that 7 straight games with 20-plus points. And let's say that again. He only had 4 games going of 20 points going into the Pac-12 tournament.
Kansas has been scoreless the last 2.5 minutes. The white flag has been hoisted. And here are words that have not been said in 78 years. The Oregon Ducks are going to the Final Four and playing for a national championship.
This is an impressive performance.
With a shot clock violation. So many spectacular individual performances for Oregon tonight.
Yeah, but none better. To me, Jordan Bell from jump ball was outstanding.
The Oregon Ducks are going to the Final Four.
Congratulations to Midwest Regional Champions, the Oregon Ducks, who advance to the NCAA Final Four in Phoenix next Saturday, April 1st at University of Phoenix Stadium.
Dana Altman. For the Jayhawks, their worst loss in a tournament game in the Bill Self era. And for the Oregon Ducks, the biggest win in modern history of their basketball program. As Dana Altman and his Ducks have won their 33rd game of the season.
And how about this? Not only are their men doing it, their women program is doing it as well. Up next for them will be UConn. It's unfortunate, but they're doing it.
Let's go to Dana.
All right, guys, I'm here with Dana Altman. Dana, 2 straight trips to the Elite Eight. You're going to the Final Four. How does this moment feel for you?
It feels great. I'm so happy for our guys. Ran out of gas a little bit during the second half, but they found enough energy to finish it. And I just feel great for our fans who have supported us, but mostly for the guys. And all the guys last 7 years at Oregon that helped us build this. Feel really happy for all of them.
All of the guys said to us yesterday they couldn't wait to get this moment for you. What can you say about their performance out there? Really their A game?
Well, they did. They fought it so hard. I'm so happy for them. And just a great group of guys, and couldn't be happier for them.
And some of those guys right here behind me. Jordan, let me start with you here. An incredible performance for you out there. You guys were hurt last year so badly by rebounding, and this year, what a difference it made for you. Rebounding for you was huge in this league.
I just come in with mindset, just do my job, man, play my role. My role is to rebound, block shots. I think I did a heck of a job today, man.
What is this moment like for you? You guys are going to your first Final Four in 78 years. You see that lonely banner up there in the gym.
I just want to first thank Jesus Christ, man. We wouldn't be here without him. It feels amazing, man. I never had a feeling. I never got this far in my life, man. They sleep on us, man. Shout out to Long Beach, man. They sleep on all of us out there, man. Carissa West, man, I love you, baby. I love you.
Tyler, let me bring you over here. I've got Tyler Dorsey, Mr. March. Tyler, we talked about this yesterday. Sleeping on you, but your mark has been made. You're headed to the Final Four. How does that sound?
Yeah, we've been the underdogs all 3 games, and that's a mentality we take. We loved it. It was a great atmosphere. We sent all the Kansas fans home, and I know they're upset because it was a home game. And I'm just happy for my teammates. We worked so hard for this. and then we left it all on the court.
All on the floor.
We talked about it yesterday about being fueled from last year and the focus that you have. So how do you keep that focus now going somewhere you've never been in that Final Four?
Yeah, we never been there, but like you said, we're not done. We want to put the banner up. Only one banner in Oregon. They sleep.
The whole city, man.
They sleep on West Coast, man. Wake them up.
They are awake now.
Wake up.
We ain't sweet. Ain't nothing sweet about us, man.
They are awake now.
back, baby.
Tyler, this is a team that's been so resilient all year. Dylan was out early, and now you're out without Chris Boucher. How are you guys finding a way?
Everybody's a dog on this team, and they come out and we fight. We're competitors, and we love this game. And this is all this tool. We went out there and played basketball and had fun.
Well, Mr. March, it is your month. Enjoy the moment with your team. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Guys, back to you.
What a night it has been for the West Coast and West Coast basketball. Gonzaga going their first ever Final Four. Oregon to their first Final Four in 78 years, since 1939, the first year of the Final Four.
We talked about it. It's all about staying in character. Oregon was the team that executed at both ends of the floor. And Stars, they have to raise their level and raise their game. You saw that from Jordan Bell. We saw that from Mr. March and Tyler Dorsey. And Brooks was fantastic.
They shot 50% for the game. They held Kansas to 35%. They put 4 guys in double figures. They just played an excellent basketball game. Totally disrupted a Kansas team that was averaging 96 points a game.
Great job by our producer tonight, Kenny Mack, and our director, Mike Arnold. For Dan Bonner, Reggie Miller, Dana Jacobson, Kevin Harlan saying so long from Kansas City. The Oregon Ducks are the Midwest Regional Champion. Coming up on TBS, it's Inside March Madness, presented by Buick. Good night from Kansas City. The Oregon Ducks are going to the Final Four.